Today, I want to dive into the intriguing German satirical comedy film Look Who's Back. Be warned, there are spoilers ahead. The film opens in Berlin during World War II, where we find none other than Adolf Hitler in a rather unconventional setting, under the guidance of a behavior coach named Keppel. Hitler, despite his notorious past, is adamant about maintaining traditional greetings, bemoaning the loss of the Nazi salute. He reflects on his relentless efforts to eradicate the enemies he believes have trampled on German soil, expressing disbelief at why he still finds himself amongst such people. In a shocking turn of events, Hitler awakens in the middle of a forest, disoriented and confused. Peering into the sky, he's bewildered to see no enemy planes overhead and considers the possibility that they might just be taking a break. Suddenly, a ball bounces toward him, halting right at his feet. He stands up and wanders toward a building through some underbrush, only to be approached by three kids who innocently ask if he's all right. Hitler gazes at them, envisioning them as the bright future of the nation. Inquiring about directions to the street, he catches the eye of a reporter named Fabian Sawatzki, who is filming the scene. Hitler decides he should head to the infamous Führer bunker. Once he reaches the street, he's astonished to see people riding monowheel bikes and snapping pictures of him. As he processes these bizarre sights, he muses that despite the city's rubble being cleared away, the populace has seemingly lost their sanity. His curiosity leads him to touch a modern car, and he begins to wonder if he has slipped into a coma and missed out on a victory. Fully realizing that he's in over his head, he seeks information, but only finds confusion when a man he approaches asks for a selfie instead. Overwhelmed by the constant flashes from cameras, he surmises that something has clearly gone amiss in this new world. As he continues to roam, he spots a woman chatting on her phone in German and approaches her to ask about the date. Terrified by his presence, she sprays him in the face with mace, leaving him in pain with reddened eyes. He stumbles into a nearby newspaper shop, where he's hit with a shocking revelation. The date is October 3rd, 2014. In disbelief, he collapses on the floor. Meanwhile, at a local TV station, Karner, the station head, compliments Mr. Christoph Sensenbrink for his stellar performance as the deputy head, only to drop a bombshell. Miss Katja Bellini is named the new managing director. Christoph, shocked and indignant, storms into his office and lets his frustration out on a struggling filmmaker named Fabian. Even as Fabian pleads for his job, he is forcefully ejected by the guards. Later, we find Hitler waking up in the news shop, still disoriented. He asks the shopkeeper about the date, who confirms they're in 2014. Bewildered, Hitler suspects he might be part of an elaborate enemy scheme and warns the shopkeeper of his potential wrath. Instead of fear, the shopkeeper hands him a chocolate bar, which Hitler inspects before declaring it made from industrially pressed grain. He questions the shopkeeper about the ongoing bread shortage, only to hear that he has more Turkish customers than expected, an idea that shocks the Führer. As he browses through the Turkish newspaper, reality hits him hard. He didn't win the war. Germany is now in the hands of people he finds utterly incompetent. Lamenting over the existence of Poland, he concludes that the entire war effort was futile. Meanwhile, Fabian, distraught over losing his job, watches a video of his soccer reporting, not noticing that Hitler is behind him until his mother points it out. Amused, Fabian can't believe someone resembles the Führer so closely. Back in the shop, the shopkeeper tells Hitler to step outside and set the newspaper aside. Gruffing about being asked to do any kind of work, Hitler is chastised for his smelly clothes and reluctantly heads to a laundry to get cleaned up, completely unaware of the modern world he has landed in. Hitler is next seen wearing pants and a sweatshirt as he makes his way to the news vendor. Fabian, nonetheless, has located him in some way and is waiting for him at the store. Following the acquisition of He looks at Hitler, and his appearance astounds him. Fabian requests permission to record Hitler as he marches across contemporary Germany. Hitler supports the concept. Fabian borrows a vehicle and some money from his mother and embarks on his adventure beside Hitler. After arriving to a hotel, Hitler receives amused by the sight of the TV. He then chooses to discuss politics in Fabian's talk. He visits various locations and inquires about people's political opinions. Following the interviews, he discovers that while his absence, democracy had no effect on the populace. He examines dissatisfaction and stifled people's rage, which makes him think of the 1930s, when many had identical opinions, yet the phrase political disillusionment was absent. Hitler is informed about the issue of Hitler's belief that racial mixing is ineffective is being pushed by immigrants in the nation. Hitler is later questioned by Fabian about the origin of his distinctive mustache. Hitler responds, "I slashed my shaping a mustache to suit a gas mask." After some time, the two arrive at a property where Hitler receives, "A dog bit me." He fires at the animal out of wrath. After reprimanding him, Fabian takes the pistol away. Over the course of the trip, Fabian ultimately runs out of money. However, he devises a strategy and persuades the passersby to have Hitler draw their sketches. Hitler creates caustic illustrations that people pay for it because they think it hilarious. Once they have enough money, they continue their journey. Once back in town, Fabian plays a Hitler footage for Christoph. Many people have viewed the video, including Fabian. It had been posted online. Christoph finds the sheer volume of views impressive. In the film, he requests Hitler's name and phone number from Fabian. Following their encounter, Christoph requests Fabian to remove Hitler from the workplace because he believes he is insane. Hitler approaches the director's office before departing and requests that they work together to preserve Germany, alongside him. Bellini, intrigued by the concept, questions him about the strategy. In order to broadcast the Führer on listening, she promptly requests that her aide develop a suitable TV format to Hitler's concept. Then, Fabian warns Christoph to return his work or face termination. Get rid of Hitler. Christoph hires him as a kitchen boy after learning about this and promises to advance him when a new and editorial post is released. Hitler receives a table in the TV studio after a while. Christoph demands that Kromeyer assist Hitler in using a computer. Hitler remembers his era's computers and considers the invention to be among the best. Kromeyer attempts to add Hitler to the mailing list, but tells him that someone else has already claimed his name. Hitler informs her that he moans at those who steal his name. The new Reichschancellery should be used as Hitler intended. Christoph intends to perform a live comedy on Hitler. Whoa Dude is a show. Because Bellini was promoted instead of him, he is still resentful and plans to cause her problems. He plans to introduce racism into the discussion by make caustic remarks against Jews and dismiss Hitler. The host, Witzigmann, calls as the show begins. Hitler on the platform. Hitler's appearance is the subject of audience rumors, but when Hitler looks, the hall falls quiet as the crowd arrives. Hitler does not read, but he quickly breaks the stillness, following the scripted lines. He says he's supposed to make a joke about immigration, but I won't. He claims that although television is a wonderful human creation, the shows that are shown are absurd. He clarifies issues like unemployment and poverty and predicts that the unaware of it, the nation's citizens are moving in the direction of the abyss. Hitler promises to battle against the TV until he is successful in doing so, not just until the abyss is displayed, conquering them. Everyone applauds him and finds the notion appealing. Given Hitler's level of popularity, Witzigmann, the host, becomes jealous. Christoph is asked by Bellini to broadcast Hitler on all shows. Christoph is upset because his idea didn't work out. The scene that follows shows Hitler speak on a variety of TV programs and explain that his goal is to restore Germany's glory. His popularity develops enormously, and he meets several people and party leaders. He begins delightfully surprising everyone with his insight. While visiting the NPD headquarters, Hitler and Fabian decide to locate in Berlin. He calls for Ulf Birne, the federal chairman of NPD, and asks him what his reason has accomplished thus far. Hitler insults him, claiming they've already wasted too much time, and the movement is taken aback by decades due to their words. When Christoph sees the police and the district attorney, DA, on TV, he becomes very delighted and excited. The studio, their stated purpose in being here, is to investigate a possible violation of hate legislation. Then Bellini wants to know what they should do. Christopher quickly pops the question that they may have to cancel the leader's program. The district attorney has given their okay to continue airing the show. Bellini feels a sigh of relief as Christoph puts on an act. Upon the DA's departure, Kromeyer distributes writing a letter to Christoph confirming the payment of the dog which Hitler had slaughtered earlier in his journey. Christoph joyfully gets the letter, thinking it may be a means to stir up problems. After that, Hitler appears on a TV show where he is interrogated directly regarding his various parts played throughout the conflict. The interviewer tells Hitler to stop reaching out to people, but Hitler says he wants to, that nothing he does can be excused. The footage of his shooting the dog is shown to him. That film distracts listeners. Hitler gets enraged and threatens him that he will do the same to his person. Plus, he claims he'll convert their studio into a tank parking lot. Christoph enjoys it when they see people's angry reactions. The disastrous interview led to Bellini's dismissal, and Christoph is hired as the new manager. Following this, Hitler visits Fabian's residence and takes up residence in his home. The course that fate has followed amuses him, and he begins to pen his book too. The book soon enters the market. 3 months later, at the TV studio, everyone sits at a meeting where the tremendous loss that the firm has gone through is discussed. Christoph feels that Witzigmann's concert will put them back on track, but one employee reveals to him that he has quit his job. Christoph becomes anxious and furious with the chosen workers, causing the show to be lost. Christoph is intrigued by the suggestion made by one of the staff members about reuniting with Hitler. He seeks Hitler again and offers Fabian that he would spend $1 million in the film that Fabian and Hitler are filming, provided they, in return, let them show the movie on their TV. There, Kromayer's grandma recognizes Hitler when he and Fabian visit Kromayer's house. She claims that Hitler gassed all the people up and killed them, a criminal according to her, and orders him to exit. During their journey together, Hitler expresses his amazement at Kromayer's Jewish heritage. As he begins to degrade Jews, he uses dehumanizing language. Disappointment strikes Fabian at Hitler's deeds and his words. Returning to the set, Fabian convinces Hitler to go back and see how he arrived at the spot. He asks Hitler what happened before the ball came rolling to him in the forest. But Hitler has no recollection of it. As the sun goes down, he steps away from the set and has a group of thugs surrounding him. They accuse him of being behind the plot to reclaim Germany and give him a stern talking to, hitting him in the face. As Hitler opens his eyes, he finds himself in a hospital in front of Bellini. Quickly, Fabian reviews the video he shot of the boys playing soccer. Hitler springs up from his lying position when he examines it intently. Fabian becomes amazed at what happened before it. He rushes over there and discovers a board identifying the site of the Führer Bunker historical site. In an effort to get to the medical facility, he fails to locate Hitler. Bellini says that he is headed to the shooting set. Fabian reveals that he is the genuine Adolf Hitler, but Bellini does not believe him. Fabian acts crazy and tries to explain his theory hysterically. The guards try to apprehend him, but he runs. A pistol is pointed at Hitler by Fabian as he arrives at the set. Regarding the question of his identity, Hitler says he has never pretended to be someone else. Fabian says that Hitler is fooling people. Hitler responds to his propaganda by saying that the people chose a leader who shared his entire ideology in the year 1933. With Hitler in tow, Fabian climbs to the top of a building, brandishing his gun. In doing so, he confronts Hitler and characterizes him as a monstrosity. Hitler, in turn, claps back, saying that ordinary people elected a unique individual and put the nation's destiny in his hands. People chose him, he says, since deep down they share the same principles. Hitler gets shot by an outraged Fabian, leading him to fall down the building onto the street. Soon, Fabian hears Hitler's voice, who states that he wreaks havoc on Germans. Then, just after it, Hitler, who was just knocked down, reappears. Just then, Bellini calls for a cut in the studio, and everyone cheers for the shoot. Turns out that the whole thing was a filming setup, and some random actor was playing Fabian. Hitler continues by requesting that they all keep in mind the fallen comrades. Somewhere else, Kromayer is sobbing, seeing Fabian through a hole in the mental ward. Hitler and Bellini are busy giving autographs and interviews to people after the film booms. As they pass by a car, the people on the street seem fond of Hitler while showing him the utmost respect. Subscribe for more videos like this. Please enable notifications and show your support for the channel by leaving a like. Much obliged for your time.